You better believe we got more Kane's Wrath info to leak later. But for now, ever wonder why Tiberium is green? Or why GDI's airships are named after killer whales? Want to know how the online auto matcher works? Or what the Confessor upgrade does? Well, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Only stupid answer. It's time to ask a developer.
By the time you're watching this episode, APOC and his forum monkeys will have already created a new thread on the CNC forums called Ask a Developer. Here you can post all those burning questions or go the extra mile and post a link to a video of yourself asking. Be sure to show off your CNC swag and maybe you'll be featured here on Ask a Developer.
In the meantime, Raj, hand me today's question. Thank you. It says here this was submitted by a dapper young go-getter, now a producer for a major video game company. He prides himself in his CNC skills. Look at that, he used a Z. How cute. Raj Joshi asked, wait a minute, Raj Joshi?
Well, yeah, what did you expect? The thread hadn't been posted yet.
That's a good point. Why does David Silverman always get to read the show open on BattleCast primetime? I stand corrected. That was a stupid question. Raj, I thought we'd settle this like adults. I was higher on the 1v1 ladder, remember? Anyways, it's time we turn our attention to Ask a Developer with some questions you may actually want to know.
Thanks, guys. I'm Amir Rao, a level designer on Command & Conquer 3, and since we don't have the forum post up yet, I'm going to go ahead and answer a question I see on the forums all the time, which is how does veterancy work? Well, a unit starts with no veterancy. Once it kills 3 times its own value in units, it becomes a veteran. A veteran does 10% more damage and has 10% more health. The next level up is Elite. At Elite, a unit has 20% more health and does 20% more damage. After killing 3 times its value again, a unit is considered Heroic. At Heroic, a unit does 20% more damage, has 50% more health, has twice the rate of fire, and is much harder to suppress. You'll notice Heroic units because they have a special Heroic icon and Heroic firing effects. Well, that's all for now. If you have your own questions, go to commandandconquer.com and post them. Back to you guys.
I'm glad we got that cleared up. Send us your questions at commandandconquer.com. Hey, I got a question. Who's going to be playing in our featured match?
Great question, not telling. When we return, neither rain nor storms nor precipitation can stop us from bringing you news of the Seattle World Cyber Games Grand Finals. Plus, Associate Art Director Mike Colonnese talks about the art of the Messiah. Hallelujah! When BattleCast Primetime continues on Command & Conquer TV. Welcome back to BattleCast Primetime. I'm David Silverman. Kane's Wrath will introduce some huge changes to all 3 factions, literally. The expansion pack will include all new epic units, the biggest units in the game. Mike Colonnese is in studio standing by to tell us more about the art and creation of these units.
But first, while Kane's Wrath may be months away from release, there's still a lot happening with C&C3. It all starts in Seattle, where world-class players are duking it out Tiberium style. Let's learn more from the front.
Thousands of gamers from 74 nations around the world have been battling it out for a chance to take home the gold at the World Cyber Games Grand Finals in Seattle, Washington. For more details, let's dial up APOC to walk us through this momentous event.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Aaron APOC Kaufman, your official Command & Conquer Community Manager. We're here in Seattle, Washington, covering the 2007 Grand Finals of the World Cyber Games. Some of the top players are here from around the world, and they're all competing for a chance to be crowned the world champion of Command & Conquer 3, and not to mention a shot at winning $12,000.
I would like to welcome you to the 2007 World Cyber Games.
So it looks like you're on your way to the single elimination bracket on Saturday. How do you feel about your chances so far?
I think my chances are pretty good.
My toughest opponent would be Dackle, obviously. He's a fantastic player. His micro is insane, his macro is insane. He's got all the attributes to win the whole tournament.
I think luck will be an important factor.
Well, I would say one of the best looking players right now is definitely Dackle.
If I'm lucky, I might win the tournament.
It is day 4 here at the World Cyber Games Grand Final, and we are going for gold with Command & Conquer 3. It's going to be Xeon from Germany and Apollo from the UK. It should be quite an epic showdown.
Just put it down at that Western expansion so he's
I'm feeling fantastic. It's what I aimed for from the start, and it's great. I don't know what to say. It feels awesome.
The long-awaited BattleCast viewer will finally arrive alongside patch 109. This standalone feature lets you download and watch C&C3 replays from CommandandConquer.com. When you download the free viewer, you'll get the entire multiplayer game, all the art, units, and maps, but none of the functionality. That's right, it's locked in observer mode, meaning you can only watch other people play. Hey, there's no such thing as a free lunch, people.
Earlier in the show, we saw how awesome the cinematics in Kane's Wrath will be, but they're just a small part of the art direction. It takes an incredible amount of skilled designers, modelers, and animators to create the environment, structures, and units you all know and love. Kane's Wrath is introducing a new challenge for our dedicated artists, the Epic Unit. These larger-than-life elite vehicles are designed to be highly customizable, game-changing units, feared by your opponents. Joining us now to talk about the art of the Epic Unit is Associate Art Director Mike Colonese. Mike, welcome to BattleCast Primetime.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Mike, a lot of the fans have been asking questions about these Epic Units, how they play, how they look, all that stuff. But before we get into that, let's get to know a little bit more about you. So on Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars, you were doing concept art, you were doing modeling, you were doing some animation. With all this kinds of stuff, how many of these skills do you still use as an art director?
Everything. I mean, the project's in various stages of production each day. So we may be doing concept work on an alien and then doing animation for a nod unit in cinematics. So it's a lot of jumping around each day for the artist.
Now, Mike, on C&C3, you were the lead artist. Mm-hmm. With all these different units in C&C3, was there any one in particular that you were just like, man, that unit's awesome?
Definitely the Mammoth tank. It's a classic C&C unit. It was really important for us to get the look for GDI down early. So it's got that kind of functional design, very angular, and very cool. So it was a great leaping board for the rest of the project and getting the rest of GDI in.
Sweet. So now let's get to the Epic Unit, the moment everyone's been waiting for. We have not released any details on the Epic Unit. Nobody knows what it is except the name Epic Unit, which can mean a lot of different things.
Huge.
So, with the Epic Unit, how is it different from, say, a Juggernaut or an Annihilator tripod or even an Avatar?
Well, it's twice as big as any of those units. It's got its own build structure, so it's very expensive, later game unit, and you can only have one out in the battlefield at a time, just like a commando.
Okay. So I got the suits upstairs to allow us to leak a special image of the Nod Epic Unit. So we're going to pull that up momentarily. When we do, can you just walk us through that? So like the choices you made from an art direction standpoint, different things, where'd you get the inspiration, things like that. Let's pull it up now.
So it starts out as a basic chassis, and it was really important for us to get that kind of Nod evil design. So it's got very sharp angles to it, that smooth Nod look, lots of red glowy lights, and the cool dark Nod texture to it. It also has upgradable hardpoints on it, so depending on what kind of unit you throw inside, it will change the artwork on it.
That sounds pretty cool. So if I drop like a black hand in there, it'll be like a flamethrower kind of thing?
Yeah, you'll get 2 giant flame tanks on the back, or you put a militant in it and you'll get 2 giant rocket launchers on the shoulder. So it'll be very cool for the players, to customize these giant walker robots and then, run them out in the battlefield.
That's pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, suits upstairs didn't bite, and I can only leak that one. So the rest of the Epic units will have to remain a mystery for now. But last episode of BattleCast Primetime, we did see Jim Bissell at Leipzig kind of walk us through some of the new units. So we saw like the Cyborg, and we saw the Shatterer tank for GDI. Can you walk us through some other the new units and how you got the idea for their look and how they act and whatnot?
Well, I mean, we're on the message board each day reading what the fans want, and so getting the hover vehicles back in was really important to us. Going back into the C&C franchise, getting the Cyborgs in there. So it's just, we wanted to get what the fans wanted, so a lot of new cool stuff and stuff from the older games.
Mike, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now go finish Kane's Wrath.